sit back in your seats, get something to eat, and watch this movie. Don't let the kiddies see it, because, well, we'll let you hear the beginning first. Thank you.
Hello,
Hello,
I'm Sunny,
I'm Rainy.
and this is...
Closet Chat! Yay!
Well, guys, it is the beginning of November.
Yep.
A lot of time has passed, but life has been pretty crazy recently.
Oh yeah, I think some of us have been thrown at the wall. Maybe more physical than others.
We've been going through some stuff, some, as you said, more physical than others,
Yeah.
some very mentally.
Uh-huh.
Oh, so Rainy, my dear co-host, first of all, let's, check in with life. How are you?
Well, besides the fact that my hand currently has a Band-Aid, and that I had a bit of a stomach ache last night, I have been pretty much exhausted.
Rainy hasn't been doing good, guys. She's been struggling.
Yeah, oh my god. Yes, oh yeah, I had I think my second or third food poisoning of the year.
Hey, I'm a little bit hesitant about Panda Express now.
Yeah.
Hint, hint.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, no, that was a fun 12 hours.
Oh God, that's awful.
Yeah.
Hearing the time for it just makes it a lot worse.
Yeah.
Well,
What about you?
I'm doing pretty okay.
Mhm.
Thank you for asking. I think it's funny because that was going to be my answer regardless of whether you asked or not. One more sarcastic than the other. Honestly, life has been not terrible, but I feel like the past few months have been so fast. Like October especially.
Yeah.
October, dude, I feel like October just started and we're already in November. And the fact that it's already like what?
The 4th?
The 4th?
As of us recording this?
Yeah. Like, that's unacceptable.
Yeah. And then Maria Carey, she has defrost.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh no.
She's defrost.
I wonder if I'll, there was a time where I was at a sushi restaurant, her song played like 10 times in a row. Basically the entire time I was there.
Oh god.
For like an hour at least.
Yeah.
I wonder if I'll experience that again anytime soon. But, so, we are a little bit late to the game, mayhaps.
Probably.
As, it's a movie that came out pretty recently. However, it came out, I think, at the perfect time.
Yeah, just before Halloween.
Just before Halloween. Can you guys guess what it is?
Done. Done.
We're gonna do some sort of dun 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 dun.
No, I was
dun.
I was gonna do the theme song of the movie. I went blank. But we'll give you a hint.
That was the first hint. Done. Can you guess?
That wasn't the first.
Silly audience member. It's not that. It is
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, so we're just gonna give what we thought of it, have a discussion, kind of do our usual, go into depth about the movie, probably spend way more time than we intended describing the movie.
Yeah.
So, what were your thoughts?
Well, for context, I have been in the FNAF fandom since it first came out.
Oh, for context, when it gets to me, I am not really a fan. The most interaction I had was the first game watching Markiplier.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah. But for me, I've been in the fandom since day one. I have been stuck in this hole for who knows how long, and I've been trying to drag Sunny in with me.
I was dragged in very briefly.
And then you got out.
I got out, guys. I got it. I made it.
And then you were dragged back in by security breach.
I would say that was when I started getting dragged in. Because, I was briefly into it, like I said, when I first started watching Markiplier do it.
Yeah.
Because I watched, maybe, the first two games. Because how many games are there? Like 10?
7, between 7 and 10.
Yeah, there's a lot of games, so there is a lot of content that I've missed out on. Meanwhile, you're like probably compared to me at least, you're the equivalent of a lore master.
Yeah, I even read the books.
There you go. You're the lore master. So we'll have two very
Different
unique.
opinions.
Yeah, it's going to be unique because it's coming from. I think it's going to be cool because it's coming from a fan and a not fan.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see where this discussion goes. So
yeah.
what did you what were your initial thoughts, and then what were your like? I guess my question is, what is your initial thoughts, and has your thoughts changed since then?
Okay, so for my initial thoughts going into this movie, because I knew that this was a movie that even the creator Scott Kaufman had trouble figuring out what to do with this,
Which is very fair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like, how do you do a movie that has so much lore behind it? How do you condense it in like 2 hours?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, when my initial thought is like, oh, is this gonna be something, kind of like casual-ish? Like, it's not gonna be like going way deep into the lore, but it's gonna be mostly like surface level for even non-fans.
Yeah, tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then we went to watch it, and I think you got annoyed with me because every time I saw something that I knew from FAF, I would hit your knee.
No, first of all, I actually didn't really notice you hitting my knee. I mostly got annoyed at the guy next to me.
That's true. That's true.
So, you had mentioned before the movie, Rainey had mentioned that she was worried about the crowd.
Yes. So, before we continue, just a quick lesson in movie etiquette.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna commentate on the movie, don't, because it's not your home. It is a movie theater, so everyone is trying to listen to what's going on, because I've heard that some parts of the movie are very quiet.
Yeah.
And you need to really listen to it. So if you're commentating on it, it's annoying because no one's going to hear it now.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's very rude because, like you said, it's not your home. Like, the best place to do commentary is at your house.
Yeah.
And, like, if you want to be as loud as you want, go for it, sure. But, like, at the movie theater, try not to talk. Or if you do need to, like, ask your, like, movie partner, like, a question or make a comment, do it very quietly into their ear. Because, like, I don't know, sometimes I'm guilty of doing that. However, I try not to, like, speak out loud.
Yeah.
And I feel like there were a lot of people, like, you were worried about the crowd, and I feel like the crowd probably wasn't as bad as it could be.
Yeah.
But I do feel like the crowd was a little disappointing because there were some people who were talking.
Yeah. And, like, I mean, Five Nights at Freddy's, it's one of the few movies that's both in theaters and in streaming platforms at the same time. That's why I was like, oh, yeah, if you want a commentary, do it at home, because you can stream it at home.
That's actually pretty neat. I like that.
Yeah. But anyway, but yeah, I know that there were times where I was tapping Sunny's knee.
You say tapping as if you don't, like, aggressively slap my knee or my arm.
Yeah, okay. So I was really excited because this was something that I was like, because going into the movie, I had very low expectations. I'm like, okay, you know what? They're going to do, like, tip of the iceberg. It's not going to go be, like, super crazy. It was a lot more than I thought. And I think I just got so excited. First off, the cameos from people who were part of the FNAF community, that was something I really love, because it does show that that the people who were behind the movie, and even Scott Kaufman, they were just like, yeah, we want these people in here to make those references.
Mm-hmm.
Only one sad thing, though. One thing I didn't like. Markiplier was not in it.
He was not in it due to scheduling.
Yeah.
Because he's working on Iron Lung, which, speaking of, I saw the trailer for it.
I need to see it.
Dude, the trailer for it is freaking great.
Oh,
like, dude, I have goosebumps thinking about it, and I had goosebumps watching it. We need to watch it after this. I swear to God.
Okay.
We need to see Iron Lung. I look forward to that episode of the podcast.
Oh my God, I am excited now.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, but yeah, that was, at the end of it, I was like, I just loved it. Because it was more than what I thought. Like, as a FNAF fan, seeing all the references from not just the community, but inside the games as well, was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
trying to think. Because I am annoyed with my brother because he did say, oh, it's a boring movie. And I'm like, that's because you're not a FNAF fan.
Is there anything, like without going into spoiler territory, did you have any like likes and dislikes that you want to go more in depth into?
I can't say one of them because it's a spoiler.
Yeah, save it for the spoiler
Save it for the
section.
spoilers. As for something I didn't like, I guess it would have to be the character. No, wait, hold on. I don't even think then. Okay, I think it would have to be the subplot for the main character's Mike.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that subplot, I think it was just at that point kind of
unneeded,
but at the same time, I kind of get it because I've read some of the books and they have plots like this.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, I kind of get it, but at the same time, it kind of takes away from it.
Yeah, I kind of understand that. Yeah.
But yeah, that's my thoughts.
Okay.
How about yours, dear co-host?
So, I'm very much on the opposite spectrum of Rainy this time around.
Yeah.
Not to say that I didn't like, not to say that I fully like disliked the movie. I liked it. I guess this is my own personal opinion. I don't, I kind of agree with your brother. I'm sorry. Once again, my personal opinion, like Rainy, like loving it, I think that's great, and for everybody else who loves it too. But I feel a little bit more critical, especially like looking at it as a movie, like outside of like being a FNAF movie. I feel like it wasn't particularly engaging, and I feel like a part of it, you even mentioned of the whole subplot. I think that's kind of like part of why I felt that, because I feel like it could have been, there could have been something else, like a different subplot that could have made things more exciting. But I don't even know if that's really the issue for me, because like I do agree with you that I don't think it was very like needed. But I guess for me, I don't feel like there was enough action, and I didn't think it was scary at all.
Yeah, I think it's because I think it's actually been mislabeled. It's not a horror, it's more of thriller. But even that's generous.
Because like okay, spoiler territory. But I'll explain it in a bit. But I just feel like things were like the acting wasn't very, it wasn't bad, but I wasn't very impressed with like the dialogue specifically. Especially with the cop character, which I don't know if that counts as a spoiler or not, but
Vanessa.
Oh, what the? You said it. Okay, guys, ignore that. We'll go more in depth than that. But I don't know. I guess for me, it just felt like there wasn't a lot going on, and like some of it, like there was some cheesy where it's like it's supposed to be scary, like the beginning, it's supposed to be like scary, but then it's like the person who was reacting with fear was kind of making it very cheesy. Do you like the beginning specifically? Do you remember that?
But I mean, granted, if you're being chased by some 6 foot, 7 foot animatronic.
Yeah, but that was cheesy acting. Like,
you know what's funny?
What?
This is gonna be this is not spoilers, but this was actually funny. Markiplier was supposed to be the first security guard that died.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
And that would have been a big disservice to the king of Five Nights at Freddy's.
That would have been. However, I think that would have been very fun, because I would be interested to see how he would have acted that out.
Oh, it would have been hilarious, at least.
Yeah. Also a very strong beginning, not gonna lie. But I don't know, for me, I felt like there were issues with, like, characters and plot that didn't necessarily make sense to me. And that's not, like, really tying to the lore, because you explained it to me after we saw the movie.
I had to explain to you about one character.
Yeah, because I didn't recognize him later on.
Yeah, and then it just clicked, and you were like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, it made a lot more sense afterwards. But there's still some things that didn't make sense to me, which I felt like was kind of like okay, but like why? I'll explain it more in the spoiler territory. But honestly, I thought it was an average movie. It's not bad.
Yeah.
And I think it can be fun to watch with other people, especially if you are a fan.
Oh yeah.
So, like, I guess I'm more. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But I had a lot of fun watching it with you.
Yeah.
Except I did not have fun watching it with the guy next to me.
Yeah. No.
He was like with his dad or something, and he kept like commentating to his dad, but, like really loudly. Like he was talking like an inside voice, except like it's still loud.
Oh yeah. Just ugh.
How would you rate the movie?
As a FNAF fan, I would give this an 8 out of 10.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, there were, again, like, as a FNAF fan, there are some things that I'm just like, oh, I didn't know if that was a good choice for this movie adaptation, but you know what? They gave it their all.
Yeah.
And, like, and yeah, some of the acting was not great, but the actors that really did stand out the most, you can tell that they were putting their heart into it.
Yeah, definitely. I would agree with that. I just think the dialogue was a disservice to the actors, and they had to work with what they had.
Yeah, plus this is a PG-13 movie, so.
I mean, even then, there's plenty of PG-13 movies with decent dialogue. I mean, E.T., hello? That's one of the craziest movies, and I don't even think that's PG-13.
It is not PG-13 at all. I don't know what's the rating before mature, but
E for everyone.
No, it's not E for everyone. It's not E for everyone, it's not PG-13. That movie was horror.
That movie was horror, guys. Like, if you rewatch it, like, it is whack. Anyways, I guess, are we ready to go to, I guess, okay, if I had to, like, do it out of stars, or out of 10, I guess for me, like, I'd be very much in the middle of, like, a 4 or a 5.
So, 5 balloon boys out of 10?
5 balloon boys out of 10 sounds fair. Alright, guys, so we are gonna go start, we are entering the spoiler territory.
Yeah.
So, if you don't wish to be spoiled,
Get out.
get the hell out of here.
Get out!
Get out! This is PG-13. Get out. And for those who have seen the movie or don't care to be spoiled, well, welcome to our spoiler zone.
Yeah.
It is very peaceful here.
It is.
Okay, let's get into it.
Yeah!
Okay, so I guess, do we want to give like a quick overview of the movie, or do you want to go more into depth about like what we liked and disliked?
So we can go into what we like and dislike of it.
Okay,
you want to
go first? Oh, me?
I was gonna say you want to go first because you're not because as the FNAF fan, I have a long list.
Okay, so something I really loved about the movie is the set design. I think they did a phenomenal job with the pizza arcade, or just the location. What is it even called? Freddy Fazbear?
Freddy Fazbear.
Yeah. So I really liked the set design. I think it was very well done.
You want to know something funny?
Yeah.
Because I learned this from one of the YouTubers who came into the movie. The inside of the pizza place was inside an abandoned Home Depot building.
Oh my god. I kind of love that.
Yeah.
An abandoned Home Depot building? How did they even do that? So crazy.
I think they had to get permits for that. But, like, no joke. I'm sorry. I wanted to talk
for it.
They even build the entire building of the outside building.
Yeah.
In actually outside. Like, people had seen it driving by.
Oh, wow.
They've seen the outline. They saw it completely set up. And they even saw it demolished.
Oh, wow. That's cool. That's a really cool detail.
Oh, yeah.
So they did the outside, like, separately, obviously, since they did the inside of a Home Depot, which is such an interesting, like, that is such a cool fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I really like it. I think they put a lot of, like, love and effort into the set design, and the animatronics, like, themselves are phenomenal. I think it was, like, a mixture of puppetry and, you said people, like in costumes?
I believe so.
Okay. Because, I think they did a good job with it. And I think they did a good job when making them, like, you know, look very friendly in their design. However, they still had a bit of, like, a threatening, like, aura just because of how big they are.
Oh yeah, especially Bonnie, because it's a thing in the fandom that Bonnie does not have eyebrows, so he looks really creepy.
Oh no.
Yeah, you notice that now, don't you?
Kind of, yeah, I do, I think. Yeah, and I think once I think it's like the first time Mike and what's the little girl's
Abby.
name? Abby, they are like he sees them like, on the floor like with her, and I think that's at that point when you see how freaking huge they are in
Yeah.
comparison.
Yeah, I think in canon there are some animatronics that are like 6 feet, 7 feet tall
Jesus Christ,
in
that's
the
scary.
games. Yeah, they're terrifying. So I wouldn't be surprised if those animatronics were like close to 6 feet, but probably under 7 feet.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Mm-hmm. So there's those two things. There were some other stuff I very much enjoyed. There was like this one specific shot. Kind of like in the beginning after it's like when the main character Mike,
Mhm.
he's like laying in bed and he's looking at the poster of
Yeah.
what was it, Nebraska?
Nebraska, yeah.
Yeah, it's a poster of Nebraska and it's like all the trees, and what I really like is that he has the headphones on. He's listening to like nature sounds, and then it's like zooming closer into the poster, and then it like transitions to like actual like trees moving.
Oh yeah.
I think that was such a phenomenal, like, I think that was a really good shot. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Um, so I think there was like more stuff like that I really enjoyed. But like I mentioned, I think the dialogue is pretty weak. Um, and there was some stuff that didn't make sense. Like, why does the little sister have dreams of a brother that she never met? How does she like know all of these things?
I think it was briefly explained, which
I don't think it was.
no, it was briefly.
Was
It was briefly like she didn't get the full context, but she still got enough to know what happened.
Well, yeah, but how did she like draw it and know that the boy in the thing was Garrett? And how does she like immediately know that, oh yeah, these are ghosts?
I know for Garrett, the parents, the deceased parents, briefly talked about it, but like it's
Well, did they? I mean, that like he said, how he had a little brother, and she said yes, but like, how would she know about his dream about what happened? Like, she drew him in the car, looking out, like exactly from his memory, wearing the same clothes.
we don't talk about those plot holes.
See, that's what I'm talking about. I felt like this movie had some plot holes, and there was just some stuff that didn't make sense. Like the bad guys going to like vandalize this place for $1,000. Are you kidding me? And then like the whole aunt with the lawyer basically like almost it sounded like they were gonna go do a murder plot at first. Not gonna lie. I forget if they actually do talk about killing him.
Yeah, so I'm gonna let you know now.
Oh?
When you're in the FNAF community, while yes, you can try to put the puzzle together, you just gotta roll with it, whether you like it or not.
Okay, but like from a movie standpoint though.
Yeah, okay, so from a movie standpoint, there is a few.
There's some plot holes, not like a lot because I don't think there's a lot of movies. Sorry.
Sonny, you're gonna get some FNAF fans hunting you down.
That's okay. Like, that's my opinion, though. Like, I think everybody's opinions are valid because for me, I'm looking at it from the perspective of an artist and writer, and I feel like, I don't know, I feel like there was a lot of missed opportunities, and the subplot, I felt like
Just could have just been dropped.
I don't know. I feel like it wasn't a bad subplot. And like it kind of makes sense because I feel like a lot of like quote unquote horror movies, video games, and just really the horror genre as a whole, I feel like grief is like one of the number one like themes.
Yeah.
And it kind of made sense to me that there would be a lot of grief in this movie. And I don't think it was unneeded or that it wasn't like a bad place to have it. However, I just don't know if I like the execution of it, I guess. Because I think it could have gone somewhere pretty well. And also Vanessa.
Yes.
I don't know. I felt like I don't know how to feel about Vanessa in the movie. What about you?
Vanessa, they were trying to get some characters from, like, because, so, Scott Cawthon is known to reuse names a lot.
Mhm.
So Vanessa is one of the names that he reuses a lot.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So, the thing is, trying to remember the names of William Afton's kids, which is Michael Afton, Evan Afton. I believe that's what the name is we came up with. The community believe that's the name of one of his kids, one of his boys. And then God, I'm blanking on the girl's name because it wasn't Vanessa, but it was a girl who was Daddy's little girl. Like she would do anything for Daddy. But she wasn't named Vanessa.
So it's kind of like they combined the two characters.
They combined it, yeah. Which is like okay. I'm like okay, but you could have because like it's in the game. It's canon that he had 3 kids, and that 2 of them technically died by animatronics, and then one of them is trying to undo the damage that his father has done.
Okay.
That's in the games. So I don't know if the movie is like trying to be like the same as the games or they're just being like a separate universe from the games.
I'm assuming it's separate, but like they're trying to do like a mixture of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, I was like, oh, it could have made more sense if Vanessa was someone else. Like, keep the character as a police officer, but maybe have someone that was found in the games to be in, or someone in the games to be in that role, because Vanessa in the games was a security guard, but not until Security Breach.
Yeah.
And she had no connections except being a follower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at first, like with this movie, I was under the impression that she was going to do the whole betrayal thing or something.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like it didn't really fit. Like her being like a police officer and then her dad is like a serial killer and
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it like a lot of her actions from the beginning does make sense and like why she's like a weirdo. Vanessa's a weirdo, guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess like
Okay, I'm sorry. I just found the daughter's name.
yeah,
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't know, and I guess once again, I just didn't feel the movie had a lot of tension or like I know it's not supposed to be quote unquote horror movie, but like I'm surprised they didn't do more jump scares. However, I will say that one scene when the babysitter, I forget her name, she gets like bit in half.
Oh yeah, that
was very abrupt. Like I honest to God did not expect that, and I do think that was interesting.
would it be funny to tell if I told you that I'm actually got I got desensitized by that by the books because the books are a lot worse.
I can imagine.
Oh yeah, no. We could make a podcast about all the books. And I could tell you which ones are the worst deaths in these books.
That could be an episode idea.
Oh yeah. Because some of them I literally had to stop and regain myself before continuing reading.
I feel that with true crime.
Yep.
Yeah, let me tell y'all, when you learn about the I think it's called the Ant Farm Kids or the Ant Hill Kids. Do you know them?
No, but I don't want to learn.
It's a cult. It's very bad.
Ugh.
Anyways, but even then, like I didn't expect that because I feel like you don't really get that in the movie. Like it's like you don't get a lot of gore. But no, earlier when I was talking about like the beginning, when you see the first security guard, like the way he's running around and screaming, it feels like it's a joke. Like it's so cheesy.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel because of that, I feel like it took away from any tension. Because it just felt so fucking it felt goofy. And I guess that's my biggest issue is that occasionally when there's like supposed to be like a very tense like scene, like something like that can kind of take it out of it. But honestly, I think it was really just the beginning that had that problem. So I think, honestly, I think that's pretty much all I have to say. like I liked the camera work. I liked the set design and the special effects. I think the special effects were well done.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh. Oh. Mm. I'm so excited. Okay, so as a FNAF fan, I just love this movie because just like Sunny said, the set design, the camera works. I love the costumes because it's not it's not apparent when you watch it, but it is kind of set in the 90s.
I think it's this like either the late 90s or really early 2000s.
I think late 90s because the early 2000s still had like no, yeah, early 2000s because there were some flip phones.
Yeah, like the really chunky flip phones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh my god, I was loving it. I love the cameos from some YouTubers. There was one YouTuber I didn't know, but he's part of the FNAF community. But there was Matt Pat from Game Theory. He made an appearance, and he even made a video about his time there.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, because I remember when he appeared, I was like almost leaving a bruise on your knee.
You were like slapping the shit out of me, yeah?
Yeah, and like even though he had like just small appearance, it was still pretty much like, oh my god, Matt Pat.
Yeah, I remember the entire crowd like freaking out.
Yeah, and it's like, oh my god, it was really good. I didn't like the subplot with the aunt because honestly, felt like it was just there to get closer to that 2 hour mark.
Okay, I thought when you were talking about the subplot, I was thinking about the whole like sister custody or the whole Garrett thing.
It was the whole sister custody thing that I was like, okay.
Honestly, I agree with you with that because like I think there could have been more time spent on like the brother and sister, like their relationship being like developing, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I will say that is one thing I do like about the movie that I forgot to mention. I do like their relationship.
Yeah, because I won't lie, that reminds me of my brother and my relationship because we kind of like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say it seemed kind of realistic.
Yeah. Yeah. Didn't like that subplot, the whole sister custody thing. I think that was kind of dumb. I did like some of um the uh the animatronic attacks slash deaths because it is something that would happen in FNAF as well in both games and the books. I should know. I have been desensitized at this point from them. Hopefully.
Do you feel like,
Yeah.
because you say that like they can get pretty gruesome, do you think the movie kind of missed out in going more like an extreme route of that?
I think so. However, the ones that are in the book, they don't just happen to adults, they also happen to children.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh, there's some that maybe pull back a bit.
But like, if it was like, I mean, because like most of the, if not all in the movie, like it was all done to like adults with the whole implication of like children being murdered.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, do you feel like they could have gone like further with like going more into like the gory side?
Yeah, they could have gone further, yeah.
Yeah, because like, because I think the only one, like I said, that was really gory was like the babysitter.
The babysitter who was pretending to be the babysitter.
The babysitter who was pretending to be the babysitter. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say, wasn't expecting the cupcake to do what they did because like the cupcake doesn't really, unless it's like the nightmare version one, cupcake usually doesn't attack and it doesn't attack at all.
Really?
Yeah, so when they did, it was like, oh yeah, that cupcake is feral as fuck. So feral.
I was wondering on how much damage the cupcake was doing because once again, like I feel like the movie wasn't gory enough to really like show the extent.
I think the cupcake fucked up someone's face because it was biting it.
I wish they showed it.
I think they did, but there was so much going on.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I might have to rewatch the movie then.
Yeah. But oh my god, I love that. My favorite scene was the whole spring trap scene. That scene. This was when William Afton.
Oh.
Because I cannot tell you since this movie got announced, every single FNAF fan was excited to see this scene in live action.
So that's how you die in the game as well?
Yes.
Oh, which game does he finally, like...
Kick the bucket? Well, it's...
Yeah.
The game that shows that he actually did kick the bucket was like... let's see, what was the game? FNAF 3? When they were in that horror show, and they were just showing the ghost going after William,
Mm-hmm.
and he put on the springlock suits, which were damped because the building has been deteriorating and rain got in. So the suits, and remember, the suits are very trigger happy.
Yeah.
Depending on what you how you if it's moist, they are prone to snap more.
Yeah.
Easily.
Okay, so it's like, would you say the movie is like a like kind of like a collection of the first 3 games?
Yeah, it's like a collection of a couple games actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Dream Theory, which could have been another channel for MatPat to do, but Dream Theory kind of is a nod to the to FNAF 4, where it's basically alluding that this game is a whole dream of the protagonist. Balloon Boy, FNAF 2, and goddamn Balloon Boy, I hate to admit it, he kind of got me. Because I wasn't expecting him to jump out. Because, oh my god, I would punch that fucker. I would punch that fucker 5 times. For every single jump scare.
Most of the jump scares were
just him. Yeah. Oh my god. Springtrap's William Afton's Springtrap death was FNAF 3. And I think it was mostly those first 4 games.
Okay. Do you feel like his death was pretty satisfying on screen?
It was. Because I would imagine anyone who was not part of the FNAF community probably would have just been like cringing at the whole sound snapping the springlock snapping into his bones and skin.
Mm-hmm.
But I think me and any other FNAF fan were just like, oh my god, yes. Yes.
This is what we've been craving.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's brutal.
Yeah, it was brutal.
What else did you like about it?
I actually love that they gave the animatronics some characteristics. Like, for one, because they're not just killer machines, they are, if those who don't know, they're children, spirits who possess these machines. So they do act like children. Like, the whole fact that when Freddy was about to attack Mike, Abby was like, no, hey, he's my brother, he's okay. And Freddy just backs off. Because he's like, okay, well, if this kid trusts him, I trust him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the whole picture thing, like Abby drawing a heart to one of the animatronics, that was
very cute.
It was so cute, and I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah, I was very surprised that they were friendly at first.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was just going to go straight into, like... Honestly, I was just surprised at the sister being, like, that involved in the movie. Like, being at the place. Which I'm like, bro, you don't do that at your job. But also, I don't know. I just didn't expect that.
Yeah. And, like, the fort building.
That was really cute.
It was so cute. It was actually really funny how every now and then the animatronics will just fall backwards.
Or they, like, can't freaking hold something correctly and it'll just fall.
Yeah. It was so cute.
I do like that because the whole thing where they're, like, really scary, but they're kind of clumsy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But, oh my god, like, I really love the movie. Like, I guess it's just for me, because I'm biased. I love the FNAF movie a lot.
I am appreciative of your love for it.
Yeah.
It makes me more excited to talk about it.
Yeah. Although I am sorry for your knee.
You're good. It's okay. I just had this giant bruise that hasn't disappeared since then. You know me. I'm a banana. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about in terms of the movie? Because you said there was some stuff that you didn't really like.
It was mostly the subplot with the aunt, the whole
Okay.
sister thing.
'Cause you said there were some choices that you felt that weren't like.
Yeah. I would say because it is in the games, it is canon that Mike or Michael is William Afton's son. So the fact that they took this could have just been a different Mike in general.
Yeah.
And they could be like, oh yeah, this is a completely different Mike than the other Mike. Because again, Scott Kaufman, he uses the names multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think there has been at least 5 Vanessas in both books and games. Mostly books. Yeah. And actually we didn't stay long enough for the credits to end.
Oh, we didn't? Oh, man.
So past the post-credit scene.
Okay.
But this was like at the end of the credits reel. There was a message that was spelling out, "Come find me." And that there's only been one character in the entire game that has ever done that, which is the puppet.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So who is the puppet exactly?
So the puppet is
like antagonist, hero? What is he?
Well, she.
Oh, she.
Oh,
wait a minute. She. Okay.
Yeah, she was one of the children that William Afton killed, who happened to also be the daughter of his business partner, Henry Emily, named Charlotte Emily.
Mm-hmm.
And she tries to, she's been trying to help all the spirits get their revenge and move on.
Mm-hmm. What about herself, though?
Herself?
Well, is she alive? Like, she's killed, right? By William?
Yeah.
Okay.
So she possessed the puppet.
Mm.
And I didn't know this until literally after the movie, but people are saying, yeah, the whole game franchise takes place in Utah. And I'm just like, what have these characters been doing for who knows how long in Utah?
Freaking Utah.
Yeah. I'm so sorry, Utah. You have to deal with Roman animatronics right now.
That's so fun, guys. Yeah. So who is the purple guy then? Because I thought he was the big bad.
William Afton.
So he is William Afton. Because in this one, he's just the yellow rabbit.
So Springtrap is William Afton, who is the purple guy. Yes.
Explain to me in a very brief manner.
Okay, so when William Afton was first introduced, he was colored purple.
Mm-hmm.
And in one of the games, which is FNAF 3, he was being chased by the spirits of the dead children, and he ran into the Springlock suit, the Springlock Bonnie suit, who will be later called Springtrap. He got into that, and his whole palette turned yellow. Like, he is, like, underneath the suit. So
the yellow is a disguise, basically.
Yellow is the suit and disguise. Mm-hmm.
So my question is, why did they go with that in the movie? Because it felt like it's like he is the yellow rabbit, and he's always been the yellow rabbit kind of deal.
Yeah.
Instead of making him like the purple guy.
Because they're the same.
Well, yeah, they're the same, but it's like it felt like the yellow thing is more of just in the third game. Like it feels like it's just a disguise moment and not like something that defines him, I guess.
It like from third game onward, yes. But just to make it simpler, whenever we talk about William Afton, we always just refer to him. We always show pictures of him being the purple guy, just to make it easier to explain him, especially if we're like talking the lore, like the backstory of the lore. We want to show it prior to the Springtrap.
Okay, I gotcha now. Because I was a little confused about that at first, because I don't really know a lot about the lore, but I had heard of the purple guy, and I knew that it was the big bad, which is William. So, okay, interesting.
Yeah. So it's so that's that. But yeah, back to the credit scene. I didn't learn about this until a day or two after we finished the movie, because I was like, oh yeah, hun. Because lately, nowadays, thanks to Marvel, there's always a post-credit scene, and you don't want to skip that. And like after the whole third Balloon Boy jump scare, at the very end of the of the credits, it was spelling out, "Come find me." So it's like, oh my god. So there's possibly going to be a second movie.
I think the director talked about the possibility of creating a second movie for it too.
I would be so happy,
Mm-hmm.
and I would go watch it.
I would be interested to see in where it goes.
Yeah.
Because, like, I do think there is, like, I don't know how well it would work because, like, trying to, like, make a movie adaptation of, like, a video game is just very difficult. And
It's difficult if you are not a fan.
yeah, which it tends to be the case where a lot of people who aren't fans make them.
Mhm.
So hopefully, in this case, the sequel will turn out good and refreshing because I'm mostly worried if they make multiple movies, like, how are they going to do the new spin?
Right.
Like, make them stand out from each other.
Yeah. Although I will say, because I don't think we talked about this, the music for the credit scene, I was so happy to hear it because if you don't know, they were playing the Five Nights at Freddy's song, not like the video game song, but a fan song
Oh, that's so cool.
that someone on YouTube, I think it was oh my god, I'm blanking on the name. But it was someone who makes fan songs for video games.
Mhm.
And they literally put that song in the credit scene.
I think that is really cool.
Yeah.
Like, I will say, I do appreciate, like, what they did for the fans in the movie.
Yeah. I think it was The Living Tombstone.
Sounds familiar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they're a very popular YouTuber who makes songs for video games. So, and this was like the very first song of the fan song of the entire fandom.
Oh, that's really neat.
Yeah. So the fact that they put that in the movie, that was an amazing honor to hear it.
I think that was a good choice.
Yeah.
I think that was a really good choice.
Yeah. And I have no idea if the person who created it, if they gave them the copyrights for it.
Probably, I would say so, because they can't just, I mean, it's still, like, their music.
Yeah. Hold on. No, I'm sorry. I misworded that. I don't know if they took the original song or they had the artist who made that song recorded.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was, like, re-recorded to be, like, you know, remastered. Or
Yeah.
remastered in some way, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, is there any last, like, notes you want to talk about?
No, I think that's pretty much it. Definitely will say, watch MatPat's video about his experience.
I know I will, because I'm very curious to hear about it. Yeah, sorry.
I was about to say, especially with the name that his character had.
What was the name? I already forgot.
Ness.
Ness?
And you would think that's for Vanessa. No, it's not.
What is it for?
It's a reference to one of MatPat's videos.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah.
I need to learn more about this. I'm so out of, like, so disconnected from all these references.
Yeah.
Well, I feel pretty satisfied as well. Like, honestly, guys, go see the movie because, like, it's fun and I think it's a great video game series, so support it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, like, oh my god. Like, really good movie.
Mm-hmm.
At least for a super Nat fan like me.
Well, guys, thank you for joining us on this episode. Be safe. Don't go into any pizzerias in Utah anytime soon, probably.
Yeah.
Be careful. Maybe Chuck E. Cheese, okay? I don't know. Even that place is kind of scary for me.
Yeah. And if you do see an animatronic, remember, they like pictures. They like drawings.
Give them a little heart.
Yeah.
Make friends.
Yeah.
We want peace and love. Alright, guys. Well, I bid y'all a good evening.
I bid you a good night.
I bid you a good morning.
I bid you a good afternoon.
That was a struggle. Thank you, guys. Bye.